Beloved chosen one. Stop scrolling. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you to deliver this message. This is not a coincidence. This is not a lucky moment. You have stumbled upon your divine summons. And it is not by accident. Your name, yes. Your name has been sealed by the hand of glory. Written not with ink, but with fire. Before your voice ever pierced the air of this world, heaven already whispered your name into the eternal archives. You were spoken into existence with purpose, not permission. You have to understand this. You are not like the rest. You've never been. From the very beginning, the world tried to mold you, push you into its patterns, label you, limit you. But something deep inside you always rebelled. You didn't fit. You couldn't, because you were never meant to. You were marked before you were born. Every battle you fought, every silent tear shed, every moment you've questioned why the weight is so heavy, these were not signs of abandonment. They were signs of assignment. You have not been overlooked. You've been observed. Heaven has been watching you, refining you, waiting for the exact second to whisper. Now, let me be clear, your life isn't random. You are not just someone scrolling through timelines and trends. You're a disruptor of darkness, a carrier of divine DNA, a voice chosen to echo in the corridors of time and eternity. There's a reason you've been fought so hard. It's because hell saw your potential long before you did. Listen to this. The day you were born, realms shifted. The enemy marked you as a threat because he could see what you were destined to carry. And so the attacks came early. Rejection, isolation, confusion. It was all designed to break you before you discovered you were chosen. But you survived. You endured. You kept going even when you didn't know why. And now, you're waking up. And the moment a chosen one awakens, every force in hell starts trembling. You don't even realize yet how much power you carry. You don't even know how many generations are tied to your obedience. But God does. That's why you're here. This moment is sacred. This is not a scroll. This is a scroll unsealed in the Spirit. And it bears your name, as it was declared in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1. Verse 5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." You have to understand, your identity was never random. It was sealed. There's a mandate over your life that cannot be erased by man's opinion or hell's accusations. That's why your path has been different. That's why relationships broke that didn't make sense. That's why you've had to walk alone while others danced in circles. God wasn't punishing you, He was preserving you. Because what you carry cannot be contaminated. You are not common. You're a vessel of glory, a torchbearer. And heaven is calling you into alignment to not tomorrow, not someday now. So don't waste this moment. Don't downplay it. This is a divine confrontation with your destiny. And the Spirit is asking you a simple question. Will you obey? Will you embrace your sealing? Will you carry the mandate that has your name carved into it? If your spirit is stirring right now, that's not emotion. That's activation. The heavenlies are confirming what your spirit already knows. You've been chosen. And this message is your confirmation. Do not scroll past. Do not dismiss this as coincidence. This is God interrupting your day to remind you that your story isn't over. It's only beginning. The sealing has already happened. The mandate is already in motion. Now, your obedience must meet heaven's instruction. You were born for such a time as this. Type 777 in the comments. As a prophetic act, this is your agreement that your name has been sealed, and you receive the final mandate. Also, if you haven't already, like this message, share it with someone whose spirit needs waking, and subscribe so you don't miss the next call from the throne. This isn't just content. This is conration. You weren't made to blend in. You've always known it, haven't you? Even when you tried to fit, to be silent, to act normal. Something inside of you resisted. It was subtle at first. The discomfort in certain crowds, the way your heart stirred in moments others dismissed, the ache when you were surrounded by people, yet still felt unseen. That wasn't social awkwardness. That wasn't you being difficult. That was the mark of the chosen. You were never created to mimic the world. You were born to confront it, to challenge what's broken, to tear down what's false, to carry a light so weighty that shadows flee at your presence. And the reason you've always felt like an outsider, it's because your spirit was calibrated for another dimension. It's time you stop apologizing for that. The rejection you faced, the doors that never opened, the people who walked away, they didn't reject you. They released you. Because what God placed inside of you was never meant to be validated by those who can't comprehend it. They were never meant to understand your calling. They didn't walk away because you failed. They walked away because they weren't assigned to your future. You were never meant to blend into a broken system. You were never meant to mimic a world that worships comfort over consecration. And yet, every time you tried to shrink yourself, dim your light, lower your standards, silence your truth, something inside of you started to die. Because when a chosen one tries to live like the crowd, heaven resists it. Let me tell you this with fire. Blending in is rebellion when you were born to stand out. It's not pride. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. You are the answer to a problem. You are the vessel for a move of God. You were not placed on this earth to conform. You were sent here to transform. That's why you never felt peace in the patterns of this world, because your spirit was crying out for purpose. And you've tried, haven't you? You've tried to silence the pull. You've tried to settle into what's safe. But the call keeps coming back. The sense that there's more. The sense that something is being wasted when you remain silent. That is not random. That is the fire of your assignment burning under the surface. Don't you see it yet? Heaven refuses to let you go unnoticed in a generation drowning in distraction. You were hidden, not because you were unworthy, but because God was protecting what you carry. But now, the hiding season is ending, and the call is rising again, and it will not be quiet. You've been set apart by the same hand that separated light from darkness. You've been designated, sealed, sent, and no amount of rejection, no level of betrayal, no stretch of silence can erase the mark that is on your life. People might not see it yet, but hell does. That's why the warfare's been intense. That's why you feel the tension in your soul when you try to compromise. You cannot dilute what God has consecrated. There is a price to being chosen, and it starts with loneliness. But even in your isolation, God has been working. He's been whispering truths into you that you didn't even know how to articulate. He's been anchoring you in silence, so that when the noise comes, you'll remain unshaken. Every time you were misunderstood, heaven documented it. Every tear you cried alone was caught in glory. Nothing you've endured has been in vain. It was all making you into something this world cannot explain. You may not look like royalty to others. You may not come from prestige, but heaven calls you kingdom. Your presence carries weight in the spirit realm. Your obedience shifts atmospheres. And your voice, when aligned with God's will, becomes a weapon of mass deliverance. They tried to label you. They tried to contain you. But the call is too strong. The fire is too loud. And you are too marked. Stop wondering why others get celebrated while you get silenced. Stop questioning your worth based on temporary rejection. God doesn't anoint who's trending. He anoints who's true. And you chosen Anaya true. Because you've paid the price for truth when it cost you everything. Because you've chosen integrity when it was easier to blend in. And now, heaven is placing a demand on your difference. No more shrinking. No more dimming your light so others can feel comfortable. No more bending to opinions that don't understand your destiny. You are not a trend. You are not a phase. You are not a copy. You are a divine, original, and you weren't made to blend in. Paul reminds us in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." The transformation is not just for you, it's for everyone connected to your obedience. You're not just being set apart to be admired, you're being set apart to act, to obey, to shift atmospheres, to deliver what no one else could carry. Let the world mislabel you. Let them misunderstand. Heaven never did. You are known. You are named. You are sealed. And blending in was never your destiny. There's a reason you feel so heavy sometimes. A reason why, even on days when everything seems normal, you carry a weight in your chest that no one else around you seems to notice. It's not depression. It's not overthinking. It's not emotional instability. It's spiritual weight. You're carrying what others can't. This isn't arrogance, it's accuracy. You've been entrusted with something sacred. A burden, a fire, a responsibility. God didn't choose you because you were the strongest. He chose you because you were the willing. And now, what rests on your shoulders is not punishment, it's preparation. You see, the chosen are never chosen for ease. You were never selected for a soft life. You were selected for impact. You were chosen to disturb systems, to disrupt generational curses, to shatter bloodline bondage. That doesn't come light. That doesn't come easy. It comes with weight. So don't envy those with easy paths. Don't compare yourself to those whose lives seem simpler. You're not the same. You've been set apart for burdened glory. You're carrying blueprints for a future your family's never seen. You're hosting a fire that hasn't fallen in generations. And yes, you're tired sometimes. Yes, you feel unseen. But the fact that the weight hasn't crushed you is proof of what you're made of. Most people couldn't survive 1 month in your shoes, and heaven knows that. That's why God didn't ask anyone else to carry what you carry. It's lonely because it's holy. The reason your life has demanded so much discipline, why shortcuts never seem to work for you, why your small mistakes have bigger consequences, it's because you're carrying something others aren't assigned to touch. And that weight you feel, it's not just warfare. It's worth. It's the pressure of purpose. The ache of anointing. You're being shaped into something unshakable. You're being stretched to contain the next level of God's glory. Listen to me carefully. This weight will not destroy you. It will define you, because weight births wisdom. Struggle births stature, and pressure produces power. Every spiritual heavyweight went through a season where they were crushed before they were crowned. You are not being crushed without reason. Heaven is refining you into a pillar of fire. You've wondered why your prayers feel heavier than others, why you can't just move on like people tell you, why God keeps waking you in the middle of the night with spiritual downloads that leave you trembling. It's because you've been trusted, chosen one. This isn't normal. This is sacred. And what you carry is not for entertainment or attention, it's for breakthrough. You're carrying answers for rooms you haven't entered yet, deliverance for people you haven't met yet, fire for altars that haven't been rebuilt yet. What you carry is generational, territorial, eternal. So nu. You're not crazy for feeling like this. You're not weak for wanting to give up sometimes. You're human, but sealed. And sealed ones feel what others ignore. Let this be clear. Your tears are not wasted. Your weariness is not overlooked. God counts every sigh, records every groan, bottles every cry. He sees the way you show up when no one sees, the way you pray through your pain, the way you lead while bleeding. That's what separates the chosen from the called. Everyone wants the crown. Few are willing to carry the weight that comes before it. But you are still standing, still burning, still saying yes when everything inside you wants to run. And that makes you dangerous to hell, because your obedience is a weapon and your endurance is a prophecy. This weight isn't the end of your story, it's the confirmation of your assignment. And every step you take under it is building spiritual muscle for the battles ahead. You will not break. You were born for this. As David wrote in the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 22 says, "Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved." Oh, so now, if this word is stirring in your spirit, if you feel the fire confirming what you've silently carried, respond prophetically. Speak not to me, but to heaven. Seal this in faith. Comment, "I receive it." Those three words may look simple, but they are spiritual agreement. When you type that below, you're saying, "Yes, Lord, I won't run. I won't bow out. I receive the mantle. I receive the weight. I receive the mission." You're not just saying it, you're signing it. Because the moment you agree with heaven, angles move, chains shift, purpose accelerates. Comment it now, not to be seen by man, but to stand before heaven. You are not here by accident. You are not weak, you are wielded. You are not just breathing, you are becoming. You are carrying what others can't, and soon the world will see why. Hell took notice the moment you woke up. There was a shift, the day your spirit stirred and you began to ask deeper questions. The moment you stopped settling for surface answers. When the dreams returned. When the old distractions no longer satisfied. When the hunger for more of God, more of purpose, more of truth began to gnaw at your soul. That was the moment the enemy's grip started to weaken. And he knew it. Because when a chosen one wakes up, the kingdom of darkness loses its hold. You didn't just wake up to life, you woke up to identity. You stopped living like a shadow. You stopped letting your wounds speak louder than your calling. You stopped giving excuses to delay your obedience. And hell noticed. Not because you became louder on the outside, but because something shifted inside. You started seeing through the lies. You started recognizing patterns. You began noticing that the things you used to tolerate no longer sit well with your spirit. You became sensitive to what grieves God. You began to separate not with pride, but with purity. This is what the enemy fears, a believer who refuses to stay asleep. When you were numb, when you were distracted, when you lived for comfort, you weren't much of a threat. But now, you pray differently. You walk with more fire. You repent quickly. You break cycles instead of repeating them. You listen when God convicts you. And you don't need a stage or a spotlight to shift an atmosphere. You do it simply by walking into a room. Because something in you woke up. The darkness around you isn't just life being hard. It's a targeted response to your awakening. The chaos, the confusion, the pressure. These aren't coincidences. They're counterattacks. The enemy doesn't waste fire on empty vessels. He only wages war against what heaven has already anointed. So when things got darker, it wasn't because you failed, it was because your light became dangerous. The enemy recognizes what some people around you still don't. You are a threat to his agenda. You carry authority you haven't even fully walked in yet. And the moment you started pressing into that truth, something ancient in the spirit realm responded. That's why the warfare increased when you started to pursue God seriously. That's why relationships shifted. That's why your mental battles intensified. Not because God left you, but because the enemy knows he's losing ground. It's war. And you are a warrior. And not just any warrior roan that was asleep for years and is now finally awake. You're not waking up soft. You're waking up seasoned. Waking up with history. Waking up with scars that turned into swords. Waking up with spiritual instincts that were formed in the silence. You've seen too much to be fooled again. And the enemy knows it. So he tries to distract you. With fear. With false comfort. With tiredness. With shame. He throws everything he can to make you question what God has already declared over your life. He wants you asleep again. He wants you pacified. Passive. Pleasing people. Doubting your power. But you know too much now. You've tasted too much of the real. You can't go back. You've passed the point of no return. There's a deep knowing inside of you now. A holy dissatisfaction. You can't explain it to everyone, but it's real. The sound of heaven is louder than the noise of the crowd, and you're choosing to follow it. And you need to understand, this isn't just about you. When you woke up, the chains on your bloodline began to crack. When you woke up, the altar of compromise in your family line began to shake. When you woke up, your children's futures shifted. Whole destinies are waiting for your full alignment. You are the interruption, the divine detour, the appointed one who turns generational sorrow into legacy. This is why the warfare feels personal. Because it is. You're not in a vague spiritual battle. You're on the front lines of an eternal war for territory, for legacy, for glory. And waking up wasn't the end of it. It was just the beginning. Because now that you're awake, the mandate becomes urgent. You are no longer asleep to sin, no longer blind to deception, no longer a passive participant in your own life. You've been activated, and hell has no strategy that can stop a believer who knows their identity. And make no mistake, this isn't just a momentary awakening, it's a divine appointment, a spiritual rebirth. What God started in you, He will complete. He does not awaken what He doesn't intend to anoint, and He doesn't anoint what He doesn't plan to send. You're not just awake, you're becoming dangerous. Paul reminds us in the first letter to the Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 6 says, "So then, let us not be like others, who are asleep, but let us be awake and sober." And that's what you are now, awake and sober. Sober to the times. Sober to the weight of your assignment. Sober to the call that keeps ringing louder. You can no longer pretend you don't see it. You can't play small. You've tasted glory, and nothing else will satisfy. Hell knows it. Heaven knows it. And now, you know it too. Chosen one. The days of delay are over. There's a divine urgency hovering over your life right now. A supernatural acceleration is unfolding. And heaven is not waiting for your comfort to catch up. The final mandate tied to your name has already begun moving in the spirit. And you must decide, will you move with it? You've waited long enough, prayed long enough, hesitated long enough. The time for delay has expired. The cloud is moving. The fire is shifting. And heaven is watching to see if you will follow, because this is no longer about desire, it's about decision. Some of you have been walking in circles, waiting for the right moment. But God says, the right moment is now. Every divine appointment is time-stamped. And what you've been feeling in your spirit, the restlessness, the stirring, the sense that something is coming, is the vibration of purpose knocking on your soul. You weren't created for delay. You were created for deployment. And it's happening now. Don't let fear lie to you. Don't let the past paralyze you. Don't let comparison cripple you. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're right on time for the assignment heaven has prepared specifically for you. You're not just stepping into purpose, you're stepping into the mandate for which your very name was written in fire. And mandates do not wait. Mandates don't accommodate delay. Mandates demand movement. God is calling you to stop watching and start walking. This is the season of activation, of faith over feelings, of steps over safety. You don't need to know all the answers. You just need to say yes and move. That stirring in your belly, it's divine alignment. That pressure in your chest, it's time-sensitive anointing. That battle in your mind, it's the final resistance before manifestation. You're at the edge of divine release. But obedience is the key that unlocks it. And you know it. You can feel it. This isn't just another message. It's a personal call to rise designed for you. This is the season where the sealed are summoned into visibility, into responsibility, into impact. You've prayed for confirmation. This is it. You've begged God to show you when this is now. You've wondered if you're chosen. You are. And not just chosen, marked, anointed, ready. But the move of God requires your move first. The heavens are aligned. The gate is open. The question is, will you step through it? No more cycles. No more procrastination disguised as preparation. No more hiding behind fear or perfectionism. Your yes is overdue. And heaven is no longer whispering, it's thundering. You're not being pressured. You're being positioned. Positioned for impact. Positioned for breakthrough. Positioned to be the bridge between what was and what will be. Everything around you may still look the same, but in the spirit realm, things are shifting rapidly. The final mandate has movement attached to it. And anything that stays still too long risks missing it. This is why your life feels tight. Why you felt like something is pushing you forward, but you can't quite explain it. It's the mandate waking you, calling you, dragging you out of delay. It's time. It's time to write. It's time to speak. It's time to break agreement with fear. It's time to walk away from what's draining your destiny. It's time to move. Heaven has waited long enough for you to believe what was spoken over your life. You are not here to observe revival. You are here to ignite it. You are not here to copy someone else's journey. You are here to complete what only you were created to do. You are not too broken, too late, or too flawed. You are perfectly placed. There's no one coming to replace you, because no one else carries your voice, your oil, your fire. God's been waiting for your agreement, not your performance, not your perfection, just your yes. As we read in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Oh, and chosen one. This is your time, so don't keep it to yourself. If this message hit your spirit like fire, like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't yet. This is how we keep the river of revelation flowing, not to be seen, but to stay in alignment with the sound of heaven. You are not random. You are rising. You are right on time. The ceiling is not symbolic. It's not poetic. It's not metaphorical. It is not a feel-good phrase that sounds powerful in a sermon. This ceiling is a spiritual reality. It is heaven's legal documentation that your name has been recorded for divine assignment. When God seals something, He does it with intention, with finality, and with fire. Chosen one, you have been sealed. There's a reason you haven't been able to walk away from the calling, a reason you feel watched by destiny, a reason certain doors didn't open, no matter how hard you knocked. It's because your steps were not created to follow convenience. They were forged for consecration. The seal on your life has cost you things. Let's be honest, it's cost you people, opportunities, relationships, even certain dreams you once held dear, because God cannot let a sealed vessel live like the rest. He cannot let you drift where others wander. His mark is upon you, and that mark preserves you by restricting you. There's a divine restraint you've always felt. Even before you could put it into words, other people could compromise and get away with it. But you always got exposed. Others could live double lives, and no one noticed. But when you tried, heaven intervened. You weren't being punished. You were being protected by the seal, because sealed ones are owned by glory. There are invisible boundaries around you that hell cannot cross. There is divine surveillance on your steps. You are not your own. That's why it's never worked when you tried to walk away. That's why you couldn't stay in rebellion. That's why sin started tasting bitter and fake. That seal is alive. That seal has memory. It is spiritual proof that you have been marked by the eternal. This is more than calling. This is covenant. God has etched His intention onto your identity. You are not a volunteer in the kingdom. You are a vessel. You didn't choose Him. First He chose you. And He backed that choice with a seal. Let this awaken you deeply. The seal is heaven's claim on your soul. It's divine proof that you don't belong to the culture, the crowd, or even yourself. You are God's territory, His vessel, His voice in the earth. You don't belong to trauma. You don't belong to your past. You belong to the throne. The letter to the Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 13 declares, "And you also were included in Christ when you heard the message of truth, when you believed. You were marked in Him with a seal, The promised Holy Spirit. No, there it is. Clear as crystal. Marked with a seal. This isn't a feeling. This is spiritual fact. And that seal means two things: ownership and mission. Ownership, because heaven has placed a supernatural claim on your life. That means the enemy has limits. He can tempt you, distract you, try to delay you, but he cannot destroy what God has sealed. You might have stumbled, but you didn't fall beyond reach. You've been attacked, but you weren't consumed, because the seal preserved you when you didn't even know how to protect yourself. Mission, because you were sealed for something, not just for survival, not just to be blessed. You were sealed for a purpose so vast that even your battles have prophetic value. You were sealed to be sent, to stand in places others fled, to speak what others are afraid to say, to carry what others dropped. You were sealed for impact. And this is where many don't understand you. Because you don't just carry passion, you carry mandate. When you walk into a place, you don't just bring a presence, you bring order. You carry conviction. You carry authority. You carry a sound that makes the atmosphere shift. That's not ego. That's the effect of the seal. But make no mistake, there's a cost to this seal. It will isolate you before it elevates you. It will call you into silence when others are loud. It will command your obedience in moments where it would be easier to blend in. It will demand that you surrender what others are allowed to hold on to. Because you're not like them. You never were. And you never will be. You are sealed. And sealed ones must walk differently. You can't explain it to everyone. And you're not required to. Because sealed ones don't need validation. They walk with confirmation. And if you've been feeling like God has hidden you, pulled you back, stripped away everything unnecessary, it's because the final stage is being set. And you can't carry weight that doesn't match the seal. So heaven is upgrading your soul. There is something coming that demands a deeper walk, a fuller surrender, a fiercer boldness. You're not being crushed, you're being calibrated. The seal was the beginning. The full release is what's next. And it's coming quickly. So if this word struck your spirit, don't let it pass in silence. Don't just feel it, seal it back with faith. Type 999 in the comments right now. That number isn't superstition, it's a prophetic agreement. It says, I recognize the seal. I accept the cost. I step into my mandate. Len, comment it now. 999. Because this isn't the end of your story. This is the activation of everything heaven has already written in fire. You are sealed. Being chosen does not exempt you from warfare. In fact, it guarantees it. The moment your name was sealed in heaven, your name was also registered in hell's system as a target. The anointing didn't erase. The attacks it attracted them. The seal did not shield you from pain, it simply ensured that your pain would be purposeful. You've been through things that others will never know. Silent battles, private breakdowns, internal wars that played out while you smiled in public. You've walked into rooms carrying weights that would have crushed someone else. You've stood in gatherings feeling like a stranger, because the ache inside you was too deep for surface talk. But you kept going. That's what makes you dangerous. You've been attacked while trying to serve, hit while trying to heal, betrayed by those you tried to love, mocked for standards you refused to lower. And yet, something in you never broke completely, because what's inside of you wasn't built in ease, it was forged in fire. Many assume that once you say yes to God, life gets easier. But for the chosen, the yes is often the beginning of a different kind of battle. A battle for focus, a battle for endurance, a battle for identity. The closer you get to the throne, the more intense the resistance becomes. But hear this, you are still here, still breathing, still burning, still believing, and that alone is a miracle. Some days, you didn't think you'd make it. You were inches from giving up, seconds from giving in, but the spirit inside of you refused to let you quit. That wasn't strength. That was the seal, speaking louder than the storm. You've asked God, why is it so hard? Why the constant struggle? Why the back-to-back battles? Why the delay? Why the loneliness? Because what you carry is not ordinary. Ordinary oil does not require crushing. Common callings don't require spiritual warfare. But your life is marked. Your mouth is marked. Your mind is marked. And so the attacks are strategic. The enemy doesn't waste resources on what isn't a threat. That's why some things in your life seem irrational. Why the warfare sometimes comes out of nowhere. Why just when you get a glimpse of breakthrough, another wave hits. It's not chaos, it's calculation. Hell has studied your pattern. It sees what's rising in you. It knows that if you ever fully step into who you are, it's game over, and you're closer than you think. Every attack has revealed something about you. Every betrayal purified your discernment. Every delay refined your dependency on God. You are not weaker from what you've been through. You're wiser. And wisdom is a weapon. The most dangerous kind of chosen one isn't the loudest, the most visible, or the most praised. It's the one who has been to the bottom and refused to stay there. The one who has faced the full weight of spiritual warfare and kept believing anyway. That's who you are. You're still standing because grace wouldn't let go of you. You've been attacked, but never abandoned. Pressed, but not crushed. Persecuted, but not forsaken. And this isn't just survival, it's preparation for power. Don't resent the attacks. Don't despise the seasons of suffering. Every scar is a signature of endurance. Every battle has deepened your authority. You don't just speak truth, you've bled for it. And that's why your presence makes demons nervous. It's not your volume, it's your history with God. It's not your outer appearance, it's your inner resilience. It's not your perfection, it's your persistence. Because even with all the reasons to quit, you stayed. Even when misunderstood, you chose obedience. Even when afraid, you showed up. And that is what separates the called from the chosen. There are people who carry charisma, but you carry credibility. Heaven trusts you. That's why the tests have been so relentless. God doesn't test what he doesn't intend to trust. And what you're walking through now is not punishment, it's positioning. You're being shaped into someone who can carry glory without arrogance, authority without abuse, influence without compromise. Your scars are your spiritual credentials, and the enemy's attacks are backfiring because instead of breaking you, they've built you. Every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every day you chose faith over feeling sit was counted, documented, and it's producing something holy inside of you. The sealed ones don't get easy roads, they get eternal impact, and that's your portion. The wilderness was never meant to kill you, it was designed to transform you. What you called abandonment, God called consecration. What you saw as punishment was In fact, preparation. You weren't left behind. You were led away, into the hidden places, into the silence, into the crushing, because only the wilderness can strip away what can't enter your promised land. Chosen one. You didn't get lost. You got set apart. God led you into isolation, not to harm you, but to remove the voices that couldn't go with you. There were too many distractions, too many expectations, too many opinions clouding your clarity. So he shut it all down. Conversation dried up. Platforms crumbled. Friendships dissolved. Doors closed without explanation. And you were left wondering, what did I do wrong? But you didn't do anything wrong. You did everything right. That separation wasn't rejection. It was a divine filter. God was preserving the purity of your oil. You see, there are levels of glory that require total detachment from the noise of man, and you couldn't hear the next instruction until the old voices faded. So he took you into the wilderness, not as a punishment, but as a classroom, a forge, a secret place of reformation. It was in the silence that you heard him more clearly. It was in the stillness that your heart softened. It was in the hunger that you learned where true bread comes from. The wilderness revealed what applause had concealed. It showed you where your confidence was misplaced. It exposed the idols you didn't know you had. And slowly, painfully, God began to untangle your identity from your performance. No crowd, no platform, no affirmation. Just him. It was lonely. It was brutal. It stripped you of the layers you had built to survive. And in that rawness, the true you began to emerge. The anointed you, the undiluted you, the version of you that doesn't need man's approval to obey God's voice. Make no mistake, the wilderness wasn't wasted. It killed the ego. It revealed the wounds. It tested your motives. It sanctified your vision. And now you carry something deeper. You don't just talk about faith, you've walked it. You don't just preach about trust. You've lived in places where trust was all you had. You carry a knowing now, a stillness, a maturity, a fire that doesn't flare for show, but burns with substance. Because when the applause stopped, your altar was built, and God met you there, not in the noise, but in the quiet. People only see the surface. They see you rising. They see the fruit, but they don't see the years of drought that prepared your roots. They don't see the nights you prayed with no answers, the mornings you cried but still obeyed, the days you wanted to quit, but your spirit wouldn't let you. You are not where you are by accident. You were carved in secret, formed in isolation, refined in the wilderness. There are things God only reveals to the ones he leads away. Moses met him on a mountain. Elijah heard him in the cave. Jesus himself was driven into the wilderness by the Spirit, not by Satan, not by man be the Spirit. Why? Because true power is not birthed in crowds. It's birthed in consecration. The wilderness doesn't destroy the chosen, it distills them. It separates the noise from the voice, the gift from the source, the calling from the crowd. You've been misunderstood. You've been overlooked. You've been counted out. But it was all divine setup. You weren't hidden because you were nothing. You were hidden because you were becoming everything. Every hidden season has purpose. It wasn't wasted time, it was sacred training. God had to take you through seasons where nobody clapped, where nobody called, where nothing worked, so that when the platform came, it wouldn't define you, so that when favor arrived,